Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. It is the first Wednesday of the year, which means it's Block Wednesday. And I just love it. It's so much fun to have this kickoff. And I always love the first one so much because it's a little bit longer, takes us right through that winter into spring, and it's always asymmetrical. So fun. Okay, so what is it? Sweet childhood memories. Our first memory that we're going to have is about fairy tales. I think that makes childhoods magical. You have things like Cinderella. What did I write down? Cinderella, Jack and the Beanstalk. I hadn't thought about that one in a long time. Little Red Riding Hood. You know, those kinds of stories. So when you make your block, if you have a favorite childhood fairy tale, or maybe you have a favorite favorite fairy tale that you have told your own children or your grandchildren or your nieces and your nephews, your neighbors' kids, you know, whatever that, you know, wherever it comes from. I would love to hear the fairy tale that you love. And so the block is a little bit bigger. This is one of the bigger blocks in the quilt. It's a 16-inch finished square. And here's the little bit larger picture of it, and drum roll, let me show you the actual block. Ta-da! Here it is. I am going to walk through a little bit about the fabric selection. Again, I know I did it before, but I'll recap it and then walk through picking the fabrics for this. And then we'll come back here and talk about a few other things. So let's go to the other side of the table. Let's take a look. The world is our oyster for block number one. We can go anywhere. And because I don't plan it out in advance, just like you're doing, I'm just doing it one block at a time. I just pick something and we go. But we're going to take a look at some options first. So I started here. Now first, oh wait, before we do that, let me just show you the pattern so that if for those of you who have not done my Block Wednesday before, the pattern format is very much the same all the time. So you have the little story about, you know, this week is fairy tales is what we're childhood memories that we're talking about. Then you have the pattern pages, and I didn't do those back-sided, which I should have. Pattern pages, laying out, and then here is a worksheet with all the cut sizes. For those of you who don't really need to look through the directions, you can work off of this. And then I have just a bonus, what it looks like in a 4-block setting, and then a coloring page if you want to do it. You could just color even one, you know, block for yourself if you wanted to. So I am going to work from this one. And we have, what I picked was I'm picking blue. I want to have blue in it. So I'm thinking blue for the center and then blue for these points out here. So if I do it like that, I would want this one for the center because, you know, it has a little bit more color. It has this rose, and it's you know, a big size piece at 4.5. So it's a little bit, yeah, just like that's a rectangle. So it's kind of like that for the size. Okay, then I could do these star points, but there'd be something in the middle. So let's take a look at some options. Red, of course, would be amazing, but I think that's kind of too, I don't know, it's too much. I mean, I don't even know a better way to say it. I think that's too much. So not red. Then I looked at some gray. We have a dark gray here, which means that this part, which shows medium on mine, would actually be gray. Like the shading here is this sort of lighter gray. That's what this would be. I also tried a lighter gray, which is very pretty. I think that's very pretty. It's kind of soft. It makes the blue, I think, sort of the come forward and be the star. Now there's green in here, so I thought, well, what about green? So that would be, I think that's also pretty good. I really like the green. And then I thought, well, how's yellow look? And yellow is very bright. This blue-yellow is very classic color combination, so I think that would be super gorgeous. There's also like a peach. Yeah, so here's another one. Peach is also pretty good. I also like the peach. I like that a lot. I do have these fabrics as extra. I have extra blue in a stripe, this print, both of these prints, and a stripe, so that I can use those again. I can repeat those freely because I have extra. And then my background is from my birdsong, so I'm using this as the background fabric. Now I also thought, well, this would be kind of cool. What if I did this? What if my center was this blue See, then you're introducing a third color, and I just wasn't sure I want to do that. But let's just see what it looks like. If I did this blue, and I'm sorry, if I did this gray with the peach, and then I did blue on the outside, but maybe not that blue. Maybe I would do this blue, and then I could do peach in the middle. So that is a sort of a different look. Or I could do this gray in the middle and out here. But I really wanted to stay blue so that I would be able to use these blues again. So now, I don't know, I'm kind of loving the peach. I'm kind of loving the peach. I do like the green, but I think I'm going to go with peach. I think I'm going to go with the light one. So this is it. That's what I sewed up. The other thing I want to show you today, in case you haven't really dived into it, is the supply list and the layout. So I've given you the layout already. It's an asymmetrical layout. There's different size blocks. As you can see, this is a finished 16-inch by 16-inch block that we're doing today for the fairy tales. But I want to show you the fabrics that I got so that you can sort of think about the fabrics that you have. And I did mention it there on the block, but I want to do a little bit deeper dive here. So I bought a fat quarter bundle, and the bundle has a bunch of different colors. I also have my background, so I'm just going to leave that in there for the bird song. We don't really need that. This particular bundle from my friend Emma, it's called Emma, from my friends Chelsea and Sherry, mother and daughter team. It came with a panel, so I'm not going to use the panel in the blocks, I don't think. But who knows, right? But it's cute. Here's the panel that came with it. But I love this. Love this. Be of good cheer. Love, love, love this. What does this one say? Many eyes go through the meadow, but few see the flowers in it. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Okay, I may have to do a pillow with this. Be of good cheer. Okay, well this I don't really need to think about because it's not going to be what's going on. But I bought extra of the blues. The blues. So I showed you that, and one of the things is these will be for the outer border. So I will be using these, possibly these two, I think. Maybe then some scraps, whatever's left of these other blues. If there's anything, I'm going to use some of these blues in also a little bit in the blocks. But and then I have this stripe, which I don't know, maybe I need to get more stripe. I love the stripe. Who knows? Now the colors are a set of blue, just so you can look at how many colors. And I'm going to mix and match probably most of them. Blue, red, gray, big group of gray. So you see there's quite a few gray. There's some white based, but then there's another group of white based. So I've got two sets of white based, which means that within blocks I can use these, and I will because I need to use them. I might use more of these that have more denser color so they don't blend into the background. Then there's a set of green and, whoops, why is there two piles of red? Green, yellow, and then just a few peach. I'm going to call this one peach. I'm going to put it with the peach. And that means I used, so today I used the two blues and this peach for that block. So that is the colorations that came with this particular fabric line. So you can look at your fabric line and see to the balance. Like I consider this lights, like things that might be maybe even background for some of the blocks. And I've done that on quite a few of the other samplers. So that means I'm working with, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors for the quilt. And I might, like you can take one color away and just see what happens. This kind of changes the look of this, doesn't it? If I take away the yellow and now you put the yellow back. That's quite a big pop. What that's telling me is that one of the things is if I use the yellow, I need to use it in a few places so it sprinkles around the quilt for the blocks, so I don't want to have like a big pile of yellow up in maybe just these blocks and then never use them down there. So I want to use them around. Maybe I'll even keep them for some of the sashing. That might be a cool way to use more of the yellow. But it does make a big difference when I pull that out but I'm still going to probably use it in some way, just probably not as a major player. It'll probably be like a minor player for the quilt. Okay, so this is what you have from the supply list, you know, what I'm working with, and now you can take a look at yours. So now we'll go on to the Tidy Up Challenge, what we're doing for today. On the layout, I don't have placement yet. I need to do the layout directions. All you have is just the diagram right now, so you can see that. But I will be doing the directions sometime in January. I'll be writing a lot of the blocks for the back end of the sew along in January, so I'll be busy with that as well as all the other things that we're doing. So eventually I'll get the layout to you, probably by the end of January, beginning of February, the directions for the layout. But you can see it there. So that, I can't wait to see your blocks. Let me just put this over here a minute. Now, a couple other things that are on our calendar. One is it is Spaghetti Day. Now, okay, so I like have faith. I have faith that there is somebody out there with spaghetti fabric with pasta on it. I know there's fabric with pasta on it. I may have had some years ago. So show us your fabric with pasta on it. If you've made a quilt with pasta on it, show that. The other thing today is Free Flower Basket Day. Apparently it's a day that you could go and give a friend flowers, a neighbor flowers. So if you have a flower basket quilt, share that today, and I will share one of mine. This is one that I did years ago. It was in one of my Leisure Arts books, and ta-da! I actually did this twice in a different colorway, which I don't think I have that one anymore, but I love hanging this one up for spring. So this is one of my flower baskets quilts. It just has a yellow backing. It was done in 2010. So one of my pretty applique quilts. Okay, I had UFOs on there, so go for it. I don't know if I'm getting any UFOs done, but I don't have anything to talk about with UFOs today because we got all of our other stuff. So if you're doing UFOs and want to share about that, do it today. Focus on them for today. I also have our challenge, our organization extravaganza challenge for today is called Loose Ends. Now what's happening is I am filming things as I'm doing it. So if I talk about something, then it doesn't all fit in the video, but I'm going to go work on it and film some of it to put in a later video to show you. And sometimes they're a bit longer and they won't fit where I want them to fit. So anyways, you might find that some of the videos here seem a tad choppy, or I have like clothing from another day, which is what you'll see today. But I want to give you the information. So just remember, I am not a video, I have no video skills. I'm all self-taught. And so I'm not good at transitions, and, I don't set up a zillion cameras or anything. So anyways, those caveats in place. Our loose change today is for you to get, if you have a project bin that needs emptied out. I had the sweater weather one, which I finished the project, and it turns out that's my only one that was still outstanding. I have some empty bins that I can put things in now, but that was the only project that had completed that I didn't have emptied out. So let's take a look at that. So the sweater weather things were all in here, and there's not much left, which is great, just fabulous. So I will take the Wonder Clip off of the book, and the book can go with my other books. And then this is it. This is all I have left, which I'm just thrilled. So I have some white here that never had any of the corners put on it, and I think I will I might just go ahead and cut all of this into 2.5-inch squares, all of this stuff. And then these were extras. I didn't count, and I kind of, then because I made extra pieces, I was like, okay. So I'm going to put this in a scrap bag that I have. So I just have this bag. Let me grab it. So I have this bag just pinned down on my rolling cart, the side of my rolling cart. And so these will go in here. And these are all fairly small scraps that will be given to a group where there's somebody who likes to use these. And so that's always important. You don't want to give this kind of stuff to a group where there's nobody who uses it, because what are they going to do with it? they'll probably just throw it away because there's nobody who is willing to play with these small scraps. But when you have somebody who is, and I always ask whenever I've got one of these going on, and so there you go. So that's where this will go. Now I want to show you, so I'll just cut these up and this whole stack will be gone, and then this bin, it goes back in the top of my rolling cart, which will I'll put some current project. Maybe I'll put the aqua squares for right now in here. We'll see. So if you want to share pictures of that, it would be great. If that is like a big focus of yours, if you have a lot of project bins that have completed and you didn't like disperse with the things that were in the bin, you can show that in our group, community group, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. Also had a mail call. I want to thank Dee in Maryland, who also sent me this copy where my quilt is. So this is one of my early quilts that I had published in a magazine. Not my first, but one of my very earliest. I had a couple of them that came out really early. This 1999 issue. So thank you so much. Mwah. Dee is from Maryland. Did I say that? I forget. Okay. Okay, the last thing is we have 90,000. Can you believe it? 90,000 subscribers. And that means I am going to give away this quilt. Ah, so excited. So excited. Here, I'll hold it up again. I'll hold it up a few more times before I send it away. I am so excited. But now, in order to enter this, you have to be a subscriber because I can check, and then you need to go over to my website and enter today, on the same day where you will download our Sweet Childhood Memories, the fairy tales. You will on the same download page at the very end, and I mean very end, you have to go past all the comments. After all the comments, there's a block that you can fill in your comment and your email and stuff like that, and then hit to enter. If you can't see that, change to a device that goes to the web. Get off of your mobile device because they often have a problem. All right, so I'm excited for 90,000. Thank you so much to everybody for helping me get to these fabulous goals. Mwah. Okay, this is your block. Remember, if you love seeing the block sewn, Kendall Taylor is at his YouTube channel is sewing the blocks for Sweet Childhood Memories. And so you can go over there. The link is below, and at my website today under my video, I will link over to him. So, okay, there we go. You have a busy day. I hope your bins get emptied quickly so that you have time to sew. I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.